This video was made possible by News Voice, a democratized news app created to fight back against the filter bubbles and the corporate control of the media. Download this app for free at newsvoice.com/Jimmy or click the link under this video. So, one time, I don't know how long ago this was, but one time, Noam Chomsky sat down with a reporter, an interviewer. And the interviewer challenged him because he famously said, Chomsky said that under the Nuremberg standards, if we impose the Nuremberg standards on our own presidents, every one of them would be a war criminal. So this guy, since World War II, so this guy asks him, he starts to go through every president. What did this guy do? What did this guy do? Like he's thinking he's going to get him. He literally goes through every one. And here he is. He gets to George Herbert Walker Bush. And now, as far as I'm concerned, Chomsky leaves out the big things he did, like the killing the 400 people. They also did, there was more stuff they did that Chomsky's not even going to touch on. So let's just watch this.
Bush won.
Well, we can begin with the invasion of Panama. The invasion of Panama, which, according to the Panamanians, killed about 3,000 people, since it's never investigated. We don't know if that's true or not. This was done in order to kidnap a disobedient thug who had been supported by the United States right through his worst atrocities. Noriega, who was brought to Florida and tried for crimes that he committed mostly on the CIA payroll. Okay, that's aggression. We could go into the details of the war in Iraq, but there were...
So he doesn't, which we went into some of them. So we could go into the details in Iraq. We're not gonna, but because there's lots of them there.
Plainly opportunities for... They might not have worked, we don't know, but there were opportunities for diplomatic settlement, which the Bush administration refused to consider, and incidentally the press would not report, with a single exception, and Long Island Newsday, which did report the whole story throughout accurately, and is the only newspaper in the country to have done so. The Bush administration then did attack, and the attack was carried out in a manner which is criminal under the laws of war. They attacked infrastructure. I mean, if you attack New York City and you destroy the electrical system, the power system, the sewage systems, and so on, that amounts to biological warfare, and that's the nature of the attack. Then came a sanctions regime, which it's mostly Clinton, but began with Bush, which is, by conservative estimates, killed hundreds of thousands of people, while strengthening Saddam Hussein. That takes us off to Clinton.
This has got to be another, like, people's history series that has to happen.
I agree.
Like a war crimes history of the United States. Like that needs to be written, preferably by Noam Chomsky. Like that's something that needs to exist.
The war crime history of the United States?
Totally. Absolutely.
Boy, talk about being on the worst seller list.
Maybe at first.
Well, isn't the people's history of the United States basically that? Isn't there there's a lot of...
yeah.
Just all you have to do is look at the same stuff we know, just through a little bit of a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't look... Instead of looking at the Iraq War through the eyes of the perpetrators, why don't you look at the Iraq War through the eyes of the victims?
Right.
So instead of looking at the expansion and the move west of manifest destiny in the United States, maybe you look at, maybe instead of looking at that through the eyes of the white settler, you look at it through the eyes of the Native Americans who were wiped out and genocided. Right? That would be... So there's your George Herbert Walker Bush, and anybody who's doing a whitewashing of him. You're no friend to the progressives. You're no friend to the truth. You're no friend to journalism. You're just another fucking puppet of propaganda. And I don't know why you would do that. But there are people doing that.
Well, and you're being a sycophant to the highest degree.
To the highest degree.
Because guess what? The Bush family doesn't give a shit what you think one way or another.
That's right.
They don't care.
Everybody. So this hashtag resistance really gives a shit about Muslims being banned at an airport, but they don't give a fuck about a guy who actually just blew them up. There's a guy who just fucking attacked them, blew them up, didn't give a shit. That's okay? Yeah. Good thing he didn't ban him at the airport. Good thing. So I hope you enjoyed our trip down bullshit lane of George Herbert Walker Bush.
Just west of the yellow brick road is Bullshit Lane. The road less traveled.
The road less traveled. I hope you enjoyed it. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. Become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice when we drop a video. Thanks for your support.